All right, guys, you know when I'm in this spot, we got ourselves a new gun. So we got a gun, and this gun today is from Fuji Spray, and it's out of Canada. These guys make a really nice gun, and my buddy Josh on Instagram is using the gun daily, and he gets some beautiful work with it. So I've heard about this company from him, and I've seen a lot of guys online spraying with it. And now we got one that we're gonna try out ourselves. So let's open it up and see what we got. All right, so we got a shirt. They were nice enough to send me over a nice Fuji Spray shirt, and we'll be trying that out. But this is what we really want to see what it'll do here. And this is the MP-V8 Fuji. And so far, what I've seen of these guns, they really spray a nice finish. So let's open it up. Let's see what we got. And so far, we got the gun. And I'll tell you what, just looking at this gun, this thing is well made. It's got this nice, almost like a satin finish on it, but really well-made gun. It feels really nice in the hand, and it's got the pattern up top on it, like some of the old Sadas had years ago. So cool little setup here. And then you got your normal fluid here and your air down at the bottom. You guys know we're gonna be running a regulator on this, so I'll adjust it from that and keep this wide open. But just looking at this gun, I'll tell you what, really nice quality gun, and you can tell it's not a cheap gun. Let's take the cap off and see what it looks like. All right, so the MP stands for mid pressure, and that's like the RP with the reduced pressure. So it's kind of like an RP, and it's supposed to not need that much air, but it's not a true HVLP gun. So this should really put out a nice finish. And we're gonna take it in the booth here in a minute and test it out. But I wanted to show you what else comes in the box. They got the owner's manual. You could read this, it tells you different things about it. You guys know what I do with this. I throw this in a toolbox, and then I don't bring this out unless I gotta order a part. So that stays there. And then they give you the toolkit, the normal one. They got a little brush, the Allen head, and the wrench to take off the air cap. So let's get this thing in the booth and try it out. All right, we made it in, and now I got the car in the booth, and I'll show you guys what we're doing here. So I went ahead and did a white, and I did a darker color. That way we can see how nice of a reflection it'll give on the darker color. And I also want to see how I can actually move on the white. So sometimes you get a gun that's slower, and you really got to watch what you're doing. So we'll see what this one will do on a pearl white and a darker color as well. So let me bring you in and show you what we're doing with it. All right, so these are the jobs here. This is a Tesla pearl white, and we're doing the side and a front bumper for this one. And then we have a CRV, which is almost like a root beer color. So this will be a nice one to see the reflection on. We got two blends on the fenders, a new bumper, and a new hood. So I'm gonna go ahead and base it out, and then we'll bring you guys back in when it's clear coat time. All right, so we got our adapter on, and this is the S15, the same as the DeVilbiss. So if you guys have this here gun, you could use your S15 adapter for this one. It's the same thing. And we're gonna go ahead and adjust it. I'm gonna make sure the fan is all the way open, and then we're gonna go ahead and turn our screw in until I feel it hit the trigger here, and I feel it hit now. So that's where I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at. So we're gonna spray it wide open. Make sure you have the knob open all the way up. And we're gonna use one of my old regulators because they didn't give me one with it. And we're ready to go. You guys seen the job in there? It's all flashed off and ready for the clear. So we're using the 2021 clear, and we're gonna try out the MP V8 and see what this thing will do. So let's go in there and spray it. All right, so far we got one coat of clear, and it's spraying a nice coat of clear for sure. It's got a nice big fan. I showed you guys the fan, and it definitely breaks it up nice and puts down a flat coat. So that fender I showed you guys had one coat of clear on it, and it had a nice amount of clear on there. The peel was right for the first coat, and we'll really know here in a minute when I put the second coat on, because I'm going to put it on a little bit wetter. Definitely a well-made gun. It feels good in your hand, and the only thing I can tell it feels a little different is the trigger feels a little bit shorter. It doesn't have as much throw in it as the normal guns that I have, but that's just a preference thing. You guys know when you're used to pulling something all day long like a trigger like we do, you get a different feel for a different one. All of a sudden it feels different. So no big deal. It definitely sprays nice, and we're gonna go in there and put the second coat on. I'm gonna put it down a little bit wetter, and then we'll see the finished product on how this Fuji spray really does for the clear. So let's do it. All right, so that's the Fuji spray, and definitely laid down a beautiful coat. So one thing I liked about it was it put down a flat coat, but it still had the peel in it. Because you guys know we're trying to duplicate the factory texture in these jobs. I don't want it to be completely mirror flat. because then it looks like it was painted. I want it to have the factory orange peel, and you guys seen that it had a beautiful, nice peel, and I was spraying that gun at about 27 PSI on the regulator on the gauge. So really nice gun. I gotta say, it's a nice gun, and the more I started to really lay it down at the end of the video, the better I was liking it. So I'm gonna be using this one here in a week coming up and really fine-tuning it. But if you guys are interested in checking out one of these guns, go on to fujiauto.com and make sure you put in Josh10, because you'll get a discount from Josh Refinish on the gun. So don't forget Josh10 in the discount code, and that'll get you guys a discount off the gun. I think the gun's running around 4 something right now. Definitely a nice, well-made gun, and you can really lay it down nice, and it's controllable, this gun. It's a really controllable gun. You don't have to really go watching every move you make, because it lays down a really nice coat of clear. So, and I want to thank Fuji Spray for sending me the gun. I really appreciate it, and it's definitely a well-made gun. I'd like to really try out one of the turbine systems, because I know that they're big into that. So we'll see you guys on the next one.